Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. It is Shelby here with Tyler, and it is Women's College World Series week, so why not just bring out content every day? Y'all were asking all sorts of questions in the comments of our video yesterday, and everywhere, and we were like, we just need to get y'all more content so that y'all can get it out there and get ready for the World Series. So today you're going to be running through with us a bunch of storylines that we think are big in the World Series, from experienced players to not experienced players to some like maybe breakout players, some potential viral moments that we got last year, some ins and outs of the lineup you need to know, the lineup gymnastics as y'all called it in the comments on YouTube. Someone specifically asked for that. Plus a quick run through of the roster so that y'all could get up to speed on like their roles and who does what, even if they're in the bench. And that's what someone specifically asked for, like pinch runners and all that stuff. So hey, we do the show for y'all, and so we're gonna pump out a quick episode on these things, and we will still have a preview coming for you guys tomorrow at this point on Wednesday of the tournament as well. So you're getting basically content every day from us, because then Thursday is game day, and maybe that night we'll have another show. Who knows? What's ahead, Tyler? So
Yeah,
let's get it.
exciting week ahead. Let's get after it.
Like, subscribe, and follow for all those reasons so you don't miss any of the content. But first on the list is a big talking point. If you do follow this team and have been for the last couple of years, is there's a stark difference between this year's team and last year's with experience. That's what they went out and got. Last year only had two players that had ever been to the College World Series playing in it, and that was Alana Johnson and Najee Kennedy. This year, there's 13 of them, and quite a few of them were there last year, right? And Nyjah has been there 4 straight years now. So she kept her streak alive. And Tyler, you say the stat. You found it. He found this cool stat that we're gonna fact check to make sure it's for sure. But we think it might be real.
Yeah, I think that after kind of looking at some of the things and hopefully the stats, am I right? I think Najee Kennedy is the only player to take two programs 4 consecutive years to the Women's College World Series. So she was at Stanford her first 2 years, and in their last 2 years of eligibility, she's at Texas Tech. Took them all to the Women's College World Series 4 years in a row. The only other player that has taken, I think, two teams that I can think of right off the top of my head right now is Jordy Fromm, but she missed last year. So therefore, Nyjah would be the only one in that category that's done it consecutively, 4 years, two different programs, all the Women's College World Series. So Nyjah Kennedy, if that stat is true, because I think it might be because the transfer portal has started to become more of a thing in today's age, the woman that you are. Add it to the list.
Mm, at it. Who's the pitcher that left Oklahoma State for OU?
Kelly Maxwell.
Yeah, so she went to for two different programs. I think a lot of people have done it for gone there with two different programs, but to do it
Right,
4 straight years and have, I feel like that's the oddity of the stat. Hey, we love stats,
right.
so we're gonna run with it. Hopefully it's true. Someone tell us in the comments if we're wrong. Roger probably knows. Good old Roger will he'll absolutely correct us if he knows that we're wrong. But yeah, obviously Nyjah's the big one there. She got back there. She's the goat, and she's been there all 4 years as she deserves, and hopefully they can send her out with a trophy this year. But they brought in other people. Mia Williams has been there twice for Florida, so she's never missed a World Series. She's a junior. This is her third year. She could go next year as well. Hopefully be there all 4 years too. Haley Tony and Sam Lincoln with Texas Tech have been there 2 years now. What a life. I bet they never imagined that when they signed with Texas Tech that they were going to be at the World Series both of their freshman and sophomore seasons. But here they are. And of course, Caitlin Terry has also been there twice with UCLA and now once with Texas Tech. She's been there every year. So these players don't know any different.
Yeah,
Always
they
been there.
they don't know any different. They've always been there. And then there are players who have at least one um, appearance in the Women's College World Series. Makayla Garcia, last year she was with Texas Tech, obviously had the famous stealing home versus UCLA. She's also a D2 national champion. So, when we go through the roster and we're talking about things that people don't know, she won a D2 national championship at UT
Facts. And she
Tyler.
almost won the D2 like Player of the Year award or whatever it was. She was a
Yeah,
finalist for it.
yes, so Makayla Garcia definitely has had that postseason experience. Taylor Panel made it twice at Tennessee, but one year the Tennessee ended up falling short of that, and now here at Texas Tech, she's in her third Women's
Oh,
College World Series.
she's a redshirt junior, by the way, for y'all doing the math on that and being confused. So this is her fourth year in college. But
Yes. And then Logan Holloman last year, she made her appearance with Texas Tech. She's the only OG from the group that came from the year before Glasgow came here. She's the only one left. Demi Elder graduated, and Reagan Jennings had transferred out. So that's really cool with her. Lauren Allred, last year she made it obviously with Texas Tech, obviously known for ending OU's dynasty with that amazing
Did she
sack
break
fly.
OU?
She might have
These are the
broke OU.
questions people
I
are
know.
asking.
These are the questions. OU's not going to the Women's College World Series this year. Nuts.
Mm.
First time since 2007 that both Florida and
Can
OU
can we
are
all
not there.
agree, OU, that we officially ended the dynasty now? Because
Yeah.
y'all pushed back on that last year, said didn't
Oh, they
end the
did.
dynasty. It's only 1 year. Well, now it's 2 years in a row, so I think we might have ended the dynasty, and specifically
Mhm.
Lauren Allred. So shout out her.
Specifically. Shout out to
Flourish.
Lauren. Vic Valdez, obviously last year, she made that run with She made the run with Texas Tech in it this year, and obviously she's famous for running through Coach Glasgow's stop sign at third base in Game 2
Lots
versus
of running.
Texas. Turn the
Oh my god.
burners on, lots of running. Then we have
Yeah.
the Alana Johnson. She made it her freshman year at Washington, and then last year with TTU. Obviously, this year she's having to take on a different role with her injury. She's more of like the team motivator, kind of like a player coach ish in that role, but Alonda Johnson's still there 100% supporting the team, been super supportive, and have kind of helped them go through some mental hurdles. See the Ole
A
Miss game.
note on her. I can't confirm this for sure.
Okay.
It's not from her, but I did maybe hear that she is going to come back next year. But we'll wait to find
Oh,
out if that's true or not from
yeah.
herself after the season. But yeah, that would be big. I heard that the other day, and I'm hoping that is true news because we all want her. She's able to come back if she gets a medical red shirt. She's a great
That
leader,
would be
so
hype.
I'm hoping that bit of news is true.
I hope that bit of news is true too, because she had an amazing fall season. It was really unfortunate she had that injury this spring because, I mean, she was hitting ya booms at Rocky Johnson every single
Absolutely.
night in the fall. Then Amaya Davis, the NCAA's active leader in hits. She was obviously with the team
Speedy.
last year, gonna be here this year. Yeah, our Speedy, probably one of the more consistent hitters that we have. She's always finding a way to get on base. And then Chloe Riasetto will be back this year at TTU, a little bit more of a different role. She's not number two in the lineup, but still 100% there, supporting the team, doing it all, helping in the bullpen, things like that. So those are the people that have at least one appearance in the Women's College World Series or more.
Yeah, someone specifically asked about Chloe. They said, "Is she like a de facto pitching coach this year?" And I was like, "That's a good question, but that'd be a question for like Tara or
Yeah.
Jerry or something." But I do think she's kind of like they last year's team called her the team mom when they would you'd ask like who that is on the team. They'd always say Chloe. So I assume she has a similar role with this year's team as well. So everybody loves Chloe. And Glasgow said earlier in the year he gave her an at bat at the Big 12 tournament because he said she's the best teammate that he's ever coached ever. And the fact that she came back this year knowing that Caitlin Terry was here and all the things
Hmm.
she knew what she was getting into, and she just wanted to finish her career as a Red Raider. But hey, if we get in a dire straight, I mean, she'll go. She's been practicing. She'll go warm up. She'll go in there. She's not hurt. But yeah, she'll be there. And yeah, Maya Davis is gonna have a big World Series. I can feel it. She was massive in the Florida Super Regional for sure.
Hmm. Definitely.
Then the fun ones. Like last year, there was so much new, and it's so like, bright and shiny, right? You still have a few of those. You still have 10 players on the roster. Now, a lot of those are freshmen that you won't see in the game, but there are some of the main players you'll see, starting with Jackie Liz, who's just should be an All American. I'm really hoping. I think those are announced on Wednesday. I think
Hmm.
Gold Glove and All Americans from the actual NFCA come out on Wednesday, I think, sometime this week usually. I'm really hoping maybe she'll get it, but she deserves it. She came over from Southern Illinois, where she was their all-time home run leader in just 3 seasons, and was chasing down her aunt. If you heard all that story, who had a lot of records there, she passed her for quite a few of them. I think her aunt still holds that batting average, but Jackie might have ran her down with everything else. But she came to Texas Tech because she wanted to end her career in Oklahoma City, and she gets to do that. Like that's the reason she came here. She knows Nyjah. They played together. She's watched Nyjah do it from afar, and she gets to do it with her travel ball teammate. And she gets to go do what she's watched Nyjah do for years, and that she knows she's capable of, and she's proven she's capable of, and absolutely could have been on other World Series teams for other teams in the past. But I think it's really cool. That was her goal. If you She did an interview before the season, like right after she got signed, and she said, "Yeah, no, I know what I'm getting into. I know there's a lot of talent there, but I want to end my season in Oklahoma City, and I want to end it as a champion specifically." And she just trusted that she would earn a spot. And it took her like a week into the season, and she was starting every game. So she's very good. Two big home runs in their last game. Taylor Panel also had two big home runs, and to tie it back into the travel ball thing, hasn't been talked about as much, but her and Mia were also travel ball teammates. So we have a couple of pairs of
Yeah.
little travel ball teammate champions in their youth that are now getting to chase a championship together in Oklahoma City. But yeah, Jackie is her first time here, so that's cool. I think she'll end up being a little bit of a media darling. That's my prediction. I know we said viral moments in a minute, but off the field, the media is gonna love her. Like she's gonna give them all the quotes and all the clips. Like she'll have a good time. And the media might like Loggy Kuroga for the clips. She might go
Oh
viral
yeah.
for a celebration. Because you've seen it at Florida. If she gets a hold of one in Devon Park in a big moment, we might hit 1 million views on TikTok or something with whatever she does. Just
Literally.
ball of energy, power for days. But she's coming over from Cal, has never been here. She's recently back with the team after being away for a while. The team's really happy to have her back and all that. So I think she'll have some big at bats in the World Series as well.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see Loggy at the Women's College World Series in Devon Park. I definitely think she might be that viral or that surprise player. I think that if we're able to give her at bats, I think they're going to be great at bats, and I think that she's really going to be kind of a catalyst, especially if they put her in the back half of the lineup to get things started. So, if we're a little bit slow in the top half, she definitely can be the one that can kind of break the any hitting drought or anything. So, I'm really
Yeah,
excited
and
for
she can
Loggy.
also start. I mean, she's a very good
Yeah.
defensive catcher too. It's just how they want to pair their pitchers and cutters up and all the things. But yeah, she's very versatile. So she'll be a big one. And then Desiree Spearman, Desi Spearman for short, came over from New Mexico State, where she's dominated that conference player of the year as a freshman. Probably should have won it again as a sophomore. I think they just got bored of giving it to her. She comes here as a junior. Was a two-way player there. She's pitched like one or game for us here and just hasn't been needed in that factor. Maybe next year we'll see her more in the circle, but was a really big part of the roster for most of the year, and definitely still is. I think they've gone more defense in the outfield with Logan lately, but Desi is a player that they're going to keep pinch hitting in big moments, and she's going to be keep being given like big chances. And she had a big at bat to help them in that big comeback and against Ole Miss earlier in the regional. Had a major walk that was took a really close pitch that could have been a strike, but she took it and got a big walk, and then we were able to get a grand slam and come back and win that game. She has light tower power, and she's hit a home run in that stadium, I believe. Yeah, she did in that 14-0 romping of Kansas. So she feels good in Devon Park, and I feel like Desi Spearman's gonna get a hold of one. There's a call I'm putting in at some point. Desi's gonna get a hold of one as a pinch hitter or something. Maybe she gets, I don't know, her role would be, but she's fun. Just easy power. Just has to keep getting better at big moment opportunities, but you're gonna get some big moments in this one.
I think as long as she works on, putting together better at bats and things like that, I definitely think she can be a huge catalyst for the team. Whether it be we just need her to get in a hit or if we need her to hit a home run, like I really think she could be a huge part of this team. It's just, I thought there was a lot of maturity in that Ole Miss game. But still, it just seems kind of up and down sometimes at bat. But hopefully they work
Yeah.
on that, and hopefully she's more comfortable being at Devon Park for a second time and can really be that bat that we really need in that lineup for us if we need to throw her in there.
Yeah, we have that advantage over every other team that's playing
Hmm.
here because OU didn't make it. So no one else in the field has played at that stadium this year except for us because we're the Big 12, and then OU and Oklahoma State played there in the non-con for something. But yeah, so we have that advantage. She's also pretty versatile. Can play shortstop. She can play any of the outfield positions. It adds more versatility. And someone that very much likely, if we're doing what we want to do, is going to hit a couple of yabooms at least in Devon Park is Jazzy Burns. I don't know what she's up to. Is she up over 20 home runs yet? But Ohio State transfer, was an All American at Ohio State last year, hit like 25 bombs for them and set like a Big Ten record or something. But she's been at Texas Tech, and has really been heating up as the year has gone on, especially in the postseason. She's been really good in the postseason. Had a lot of big hits. I mean, she had 2 RBI. Speaking of that Ole Miss comeback, she drove in 2 of those runs. They were just like singles and less kind of exciting. But if she doesn't do that, we don't win that one either, right? And she kind of did similar stuff with Florida and she puts a lot of pressure on people in a lot of different ways. So she's a catcher. She can play catcher. She'll DP a lot. They'll find a way to get her in the lineup for her bat, for sure. And this is
Yeah,
obviously her first time here, so that's
yeah.
exciting for her.
I'm really excited to see Jazzy Burns. As you said, she's been able to really lay the ball down well on the field. I mean, it seems like she's either hitting it along the third base line or along the first base line, like just hitting it really close out there to where there's no way the outfielder is able to get it, and she's able to at least get a single and then can drive in those RBI. And we all know that Jazzy Burns can, hit moonshots if she wants to, if she has the chance. So definitely, I'm excited for her because I think she has come up big. I mean, there are some games I think against Florida, she had like at five, got to go up at bat 5 times, right? So I mean, that's huge to have a power hitter like that be able to see a pitcher that many times and can really drive in a lot of runs for us if we need to, or to create, anything hitting wise. So I'm excited to see Jazzy Burns have her moment.
Yeah, for sure. And then some other players that are just fun stories. I mean, I know they do a lot of offshoot media. Like someone would be wise to like grab Nicolette Schmidt and do a little story like NCAA or someone with her because her story is cool. She's not gonna play probably in any of these games. I mean, maybe we could get up big or something and get her in there for vibes. But she played softball growing up with Maya Davis and maybe some of the other players. But she went to Houston and was a pole vaulter for 4 years or at least 3 years, I guess. And then she wanted to finish her final year at least being around the sport she loved. She knew coming to Texas Tech, she's a catcher. Jazzy Burns, Loggy Kruger, Vic Belt, like she knew she wasn't like gonna play, right? But she
Mhm.
came here wanting to spend it around the sport that she grew up loving, and that's what she's gotten to do. And she is ultimate vibes in that dugout. Like she's great, and she's gotten into a couple games this year. They've given her a chance to. She pinch runs every once in a while. She caught some innings, I think, on one of the road trips. So never say never, but that's one of those cool stories of like a role player that who knows? What if she still's home? That'd be wild. She just like jumps over them, like pole vaults over the catcher. Stop it, Nick. Nicolette, are you listening? Please, Nick. Please. So that's one of them. And then freshman Mally West is someone that you'll see in the future for this program. If all goes to plan, Jerry Glass was really big on her pitcher, two-way player, I think, as well. But there was some debate on whether to redshirt her or not even this year because she looked so good when she came back healthy. I think they obviously decided to redshirt her because we have not seen her. So you'll see her in the future. Brianna Henson, Angelina Condi, Allison Dobbs, and Timber Hensley, also all freshmen. They've also all had like pretty fun moments in the fall. We got to see Condi was really good. Timber and Henson made some good plays. Dobbs gets in there every once in a while and runs. You might actually see probably Timber and Allison, or is it Brianna? One of them runs every once in a while. If they burn MK and so people are asking for roles. Logan Holloman's like your most used speedster, but if she's in the starting lineup and you need another pinch runner, it's going to be Makayla Garcia, which I don't think we mentioned her earlier. Yeah, she's the one that stole home
Yeah.
last year. She'll be that person, but then if they both get burned somehow, substitution wise, then they will go to one of these freshmen to be a pinch runner in a big moment if they absolutely need to. There's a lot of speed on this team in general, so there's a lot of players that can just run for themselves if it comes to that, but there are some people that you would prefer not to run for themselves, and
Right.
if they have to go, I think it's Timber's been getting in there, and Brianna maybe. It might be Allison. I don't know. It's always like a random person that gets thrown in there, so maybe a freshman will get a moment. No one expected Makayla Garcia to still home last year. That was not on
No.
the bingo card for anybody. So buckle in, freshman. She was not a freshman, but buckle in. You don't know when your moment's gonna come.
Yeah, it's gonna take creative way. I mean, there's gonna be obviously we even saw it last year. Like, it's gonna take creative ways to win some of these games. Some of these games are
Yeah.
gonna be absolute like, I mean, just dog fights. Like you're just going to be trading back and forth. You're going to have to find a way to score, find a way to win, and it might take someone of that caliber to, go and have their one big moment and to really help out the team. So yeah, anyone can be called for that, but these games it's going to get a lot tougher now. It's not just like, you can't just go and win games like regularly like you've been doing all season or whatnot. You're going to have to find ways to win. And luckily this team has had ton of opportunities to find unique ways to win in regionals and super regionals. So I don't think that will be a problem. But especially now, it's like you're gonna have to if you need to steal home, you're gonna have to steal home. Like someone's gonna have to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what this team's about, but yeah, if you need to, someone gotta do it.
Someone's gotta do it.
Maybe their big moment comes because they're like eagle eye watching a girl on the base and they see that she leaves early after scoring, like a
Hmm.
UCF moment that they had earlier in the postseason to win their basically regional. That's someone, bench players saw that girl leave early and the coach believed her and they reviewed it. Took 3 runs off the board. Maybe that's what one of our freshmen do. We're looking for some
Maybe.
viral, like under the cover, like crazy moment. Like that's what their jobs are in that dugout. They're all assigned to watch things. So let them do it. That'll be hype. So we'll probably get into some more stories maybe when we at the end of this. But that's kind of your been there, done that, and some people that haven't. So it's a good mix of have and have not this year. People that'll be ready for the moment. And Jackie Liz was on Softball America this morning, and she said, "Yeah, it's good to have all these teammates that have been there." She's like, they brought up obviously Nija and Taylor and Mia, and she said, but it's not just them. She's like, Lauren and Maya and Chloe and Sam and Haley were there just with last year's team. I was like, that's right, Jackie. You tell them. You
Yeah.
tell them that. And she's like, Lauren had it, and she brought up Lauren's big pop fly against OU and Maya scoring on it. She's like, they've been in those moments, so they can help us through it. And then Jackie's just pretty even killer herself, so I think she'll be fine. But yeah, it's good to have experience. Last year's team didn't, and they obviously did pretty fine, but it's a tough road ahead that they have, so they'll need it. Offense in the postseason, Tyler. Talk about different worlds from last year. Our offense has literally been the best in some categories and just basically the top one, top 2 or 3 in the others. So in the postseason, 64 teams have played in the postseason. Overall, during the last 2 weeks of regional and super regional play, we're 6th in batting average at 354, third amongst the 8 teams that are remaining. We're
Wow.
third in doubles overall with 12. That's first amongst all the teams, which feels like a low number to be honest, but everybody's hitting home runs, so no one's
Yeah.
standing on second, I guess. But we have the most. We're 4th in hit by pitches. Shout out Mia Williams for 5 of those. We have 7. That's second amongst 8 teams. We didn't have but 2 coming into the Florida series. Anyway, moving on. We're 4th in home runs with 11. That's second amongst World Series teams. 4th in on base percentage at 469. That's third amongst World Series teams. Second in scoring at 10.3 runs per game. That's second in the World Series. And first in hits in both overall and, of course, in the World Series with 63 total hits. We've been putting up runs. I think it's over 60 runs scored now in our 6 games. We played the minimum games in the regional, played 3 games in the super, 6. So the offense has been cooking, Tyler. So if that continues, and there's no reason to believe it can't, the talent's always been there. They've just gotten it going the right time of year. And I think it comes back to that experience. Taylor Panel's always been big in the postseason, and I feel like she has half her home runs during postseason, it feels like. So she's cooking at the right time. And these other ones, there's that sense of urgency picking up. So that's on the offensive end. Obviously, y'all have been watching the games. We've been giving up more runs than you're used to seeing. But what we will say is you hope there's a little bit of a regression to the mean there because Texas Tech pitching staff has faced the hardest schedule in the postseason of anybody as far as the hitters they faced. 5 of their 6 games were played against SEC teams, and not just SEC teams, but 2 of the top 20 teams in the country, out of all teams, in home runs, and Ole Miss, and of course Florida. You saw what they did. Florida's like top 5 or in home runs or top 10 or whatever. No one else faced more than 1 team, and they might have faced that team twice, right? We had 5 games against top 20 home run hitting teams. So, and we made it through that anyway because we were able to score enough. So the hope is like, okay, now our pitching can be like, oh God, we got away from these home run derby people. Thank goodness we can get back to being us and doing what we do. And our offense is confident now. Texas Tech could really take off if that pitching kind of comes back to who they are. And I'm just going to say, if you put me in a situation where I got to bet on somebody, you're asking me Naja Kennedy and Caitlin Terry, who have both been there, but specifically Naja Kennedy, who's been there for 4 years now and carried us to the Champ Series last year. And then Caitlin Terry's her duo, like partner in crime. Like, if I'm going to bet on anything, I feel pretty confident betting on those two to do what they've been doing all year until they went up against this gauntlet in the postseason. So, and hey, if they learned anything, they learned their offense will have their back. If not, we'll just go win 10 to 8 games, whatever it takes. But that is an
It'll be
interesting storyline because it's not what people saw
right.
It was the opposite, maybe. Not that we were bad offensively during the season, but when the whole conversation coming in was shutouts.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to be able to score enough runs? And now it's been like, oh, they're going to be able to hold the other team to a few runs. So it's just funny how sports work.
Yeah, I think that these moments have definitely prepared them, and I think it does speak a lot that, they keep talking about having each other's backs, and I think that the offense being able to step up. Obviously, we know that this year, like the strike zone is something else. They're like you would basically have to pitch it up the middle of the plate, and it's just becoming a hitter. It's becoming a home run person's game, player's game, basically, and that's what's happening. And I think that yeah, not having to face two of the top 20 home run hitting teams, while all these other schools didn't even have to face, some of them didn't even have to face a single top 20 home run team. So, I mean, I think that really does speak to, we've been having to battle through it, but I think that our team's getting better and are learning from it, and maybe it will kind of like you said, like, regression to the mean. Maybe, our pitchers are finally gonna like gain some of that confidence back up and be like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna be facing like these insane home run derby, bomb hitters the entire time. Like there's going to be some things where, maybe the balls are going to be played in the field. And as a matter of fact, speaking of fielding, we're fifth overall in fielding in the NCAA tournament with
It's true.
993. And we're first amongst the teams remaining in that. So if we need to put pressure on the defense, which there are some games which sometimes it feels like there were some games this year where we kind of tell Nija to kind of keep her pitch count down, to kind of pitch kind of like that, try to force some pop flies, force them to kind of play into double plays, things like that. If we need to put pressure on the defense, it seems like our defense tends to have our pitchers back. So it'll be kind of interesting to kind of see if we maybe need to go that route or just a different strategy of play if these teams are just going absolute bonkers with the home
Home
runs or
runs.
yeah.
Yeah, if they're making any pitch it that way, I don't know. I think I, that team has a lot of swagger, whatever the kids aura call it
Yeah.
right now after that Florida series, and they should because that was a mess, and the Florida fans were absolutely bonkers crazy in that series towards Texas Tech, our players, and they came together and they whatever everybody can hate them for it, but they came together and they got through it, and I think that you can do anything when you've done that. So yeah, the
Literally.
pitching staff will be right. If I'm going to bet on anybody, I'm betting on Naja Kennedy and Caitlin Terry to not
100%.
back down. They will not back down. Those two players will their arms will fall off before they
No.
will be done
And if they
pitching.
both need to trade back and forth in a
Yeah,
game, I mean,
we
if
saw
that's the
that.
strat, we can do that. Like, they
We
can't change
we
the rule
very we
until the
can,
season's
and I
over. So,
you might see that happen like as it gets deeper in there. So we'll talk about the matchups in the episode tomorrow, and we'll look into see who we start or who won't start. But
hmm,
storyline wise, it's a flip of the storyline of everybody was talking about. Does Texas Tech's offense have enough to get to the World Series this year? Well, the offense was not the problem, and they had plenty. So the answer is yes. The offense was plenty good. It was so good it was able to overcome the fact that they were playing home run derbies with these other
hmm,
teams that were in their regional and super regional, and they got over it anyway. These other teams on paper don't hit as many home runs outside of UCLA, so which is on the other side of the bracket. So maybe you can just play softball and not have to worry about throwing BP because the umps are crazy. But we'll leave that to them because I'm certainly not smart enough to know. That's that. We kind of talked about unexpected viral moments. I think I am leaning Loggy Kuroga just to do something like crazy celebration
yeah,
wise, but I don't know. Do you have any other crazy oddity ones? Like stealing home is so insane. Like I
I
just
know.
don't like that's not gonna happen again, right? So it's gonna have to be something crazy. You just don't know. Something's gonna happen at this World Series. It always does. Last year had a
Right.
bunch of them. The
Yeah.
missing home plate, all the things.
I mean, that Oregon
KT will
girl
be on
that
top of that for
pitched it,
us.
yeah, that Oregon girl that
Um,
pitched it, like the dirt came up and the ball perfectly hit the dirt.
in her
Remember that?
eyes,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
I
insane
mean,
things were happening
crazy.
last year. It was weird. So
It's very
yeah, I
weird.
think I'm gonna go put my call in for Loggie's gonna hit a bomb, and she's gonna. I mean, respectfully towards as long as she keeps it towards the Texas Tech dugout, that's all that matters. You won't get in trouble for that. Do some fun stuff that will break the internet or something like that. Um, maybe an inside the park home run, like
Yeah.
Logan Holliman,
Yeah.
something
I
like
can see
that.
Logan having something big. And honestly, I think that even last year, like Logan almost had that big moment, which obviously it got taken away because Texas ended up winning that first game. But honestly, yeah, I guess I'll put my pick in, just have a different player as Logan Holloman. I mean, we saw her make that insane throw from left field
Ooh,
against
I
Florida
know.
State. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do bonus pick as my Davis is going to rob a home run.
Ooh,
Climb
that's
the
a good one.
wall,
Climb the
rob a home
wall.
run.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be huge,
It's going to happen.
especially at
And
that
of
park
course,
because
Nyjah and
like,
KT are going to both throw perfect games like back to back or something. Oh, they're going to duo
ooh,
throw a perfect game.
that'd be wow. That'd
That
be
would be
wow.
insane. It's like, why would you take them out?
Yeah.
Jerry
Right.
and Jerry,
Right.
though. I don't
Yeah.
know. Uh,
That'd be insane. I can definitely see Maya though, as you said, doing that because I feel like Devon Park. I mean, it's probably the same length, but I don't know. I feel like that field is always longer, and it's always a pain in the ass to try to hit a home run in that park. So I feel like the balls that usually would probably already be out at our stadium, definitely Maya could probably rob a few more than what she's used to in Lubbock. So we'll see.
you can climb those walls too. So
Yeah, you
there's
can.
always a few stolen home runs. So that's my pick. Speaking of swapping our pitchers back and forth, the lineup gymnastics, people asked that. That is legal. Y'all were asking about
Mhm.
that. We talked a little bit about it. Yeah, they can do that as much as they want as long as they're both in the lineup and they both hit. So they were keeping, if you notice, KT didn't play in the field in that game, but she was still in the lineup, like as a DP or whatever, as the pitcher. And then one of them was the DP and one was the pitcher. And so they're basically switching in and out for each other because DP stands for like defensive player,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure. And that means they can come in for anybody in the field. And they were coming in for each other. So that's what was making it legal. And you can do that if they're both also batting. That's the
Yeah.
way I understand it. There's other ways to get tricky with it too. Like Caitlyn could just be playing in the left field, but she does as well. And then they could just switch and Nyjah could play first base as well. Like there's a lot of fluidity in the way that Texas Tech can do it, and they've done it throughout the year. That was the most high leverage moment that they did it and the most that they've done it, but they've done it against other people this year, and you heard Caitlin talk about that. They've been working on it together, and that's the best it's worked
Hmm.
those last few innings, and hopefully they got confidence in that. Teams will try to prepare for it, but like, how do you prepare for that? Like, you don't. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the ambidextrous guy in the MLB that changes. He can throw right or left, and so like
Oh
he
my
can
gosh.
change between batters or whatever. He's like hovering between minors and majors. I can't remember his name. But it's kind of like that. So you don't know if you're gonna face a righty or lefty. But yeah, I don't know if we'll do that. But yeah, it's very much legal. And then just outside of the pitching, they will change their lineups. It's like 56 different lineups this year, some absurd number. Because we have so many good players and a lot of like Loggy, Desi, Burns, like, one of those not is not going to be in the starting lineup, right? And those are all really good players. Logan is in that
Hmm.
group, so the lineup changes a lot. And then if KT's pitching, someone has to be in the outfield. She's not pitching; she's in the outfield. If they're trying to pitch her and Knight in the same game, she's DPing. Like it's a whole thing. So if there's a rule to be bent, Texas Tech will do it. But it's all legal, despite what ESPN says.
Yeah, I think that some of the more fun lineups offensively have definitely been the ones I think kind of like what I was saying in last night's episode where, there's the opportunity where Logan's in the nine hole and then she can get on base and then you have Mia that's starting first. She can drive in a two-run bomb and then Maya's up to bat and then she can get on base and then right behind her was Jackie List that can go and hit a two-run bomb. So we change it all the time. I felt like last year we had a very consistent lineup. Like Maya's always going to be the lead off and then we're just going to kind of work our way down through that. But now we are able to fluctuate and kind of see where it's at. Maya has sometimes thrived being all the way down in like the 5 or 6 hole spot. Like it just kind of really depends on how well they're going to fare against the team, who Jerry wants to see have the most at bats. Right now, Mia Williams, Jackie List, they all have the
Situational,
hot
yeah.
hands at the beginning situationally. So it'll be really interesting to see. But yeah, it's not going to stay the same, kind of like last year. It can change every
No,
game.
it'll be
It doesn't matter the opponent either. We make it to the champ series. Each 3 game series can have a different lineup. I mean, that's just how it works. So
yeah.
it's gonna be super
You don't get
fun.
used to anything. And I'm pretty sure it's designated player, not defensive player. But you can come in for anybody on defense as much as you
Oh,
want.
okay.
Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that you were saying another normal one that they do that's not as crazy is like Jazzy Burns will DP and be the DP, and she'll hit for Logan, or she'll hit for Haley. But
Hmm.
they'll still play in the field. And the important part of that is if Logan isn't hitting that day, she can basically just run for Jazz every time Jazz gets on base because they can switch back and forth. So that's why there's
Mm-hmm.
like creative ways. And so like if she's like she did that the other day, she was DPing and then for Haley she was hitting for Haley, and so as soon as Jazz got on, Haley came in and ran, and she was able to score on a sac fly from third. So
Love that.
there's all different ways that they get smart with it. Now sometimes they have messed it up once with the catcher issue in the Ole Miss game, but I think they
Hmm.
learned from that and won't have that snafu game. But yeah, to answer your questions, it's crazy, but everything's legal and there's I don't want to say there's not unlimited substitutions in softball, but you can re-enter as a pitcher at least once anyway. And then the way that Texas Tech does it, they can do it whenever they want to if they situate the lineup correctly. But for that to happen, Nyjah has to hit, and she hasn't
Hmm.
been hitting a lot this year. That's why you haven't seen it a bunch. But they
Right.
had to do it in Florida, and so she had to hit. Give and
Well,
take
and
to
as
it for sure.
right, and I mean, as we said, like the odds of that happen. I mean, it could very well happen again, but like I said, or like we said, we're the only team that has had to face two top 20 home run hitting teams in the country,
Yeah, we shouldn't
and
need
like
15 runs to score to
no,
win.
and I mean, I believe looking at it, like there is only I think us included, there's maybe three out of the eight that are in that top 20 right now that are still left. And one of them is the only one that's really up in the top 10. The rest of them are like hanging around in the 17s, through 20 sections. So, like, you may not have to be in that situation again. And hopefully you start to see, more confidence and more dominance from, KT and Nigel where they're able to kind of hold games of their own. Maybe one of them comes in for relief or things like that. But again, if we need to do it,
They're
we'll
gonna be
do
all
it.
right.
But yeah,
I
they'll
feel
be
good
all
about it.
right. Yeah.
And it's these other teams are really good at pitching, so like it's a very pitching dominant
Hmm.
World Series. Like there's maybe everybody but UCLA has at least two really good pitchers, and so you don't have this advantage like you did over Florida State and all those things, but you do have a hitting advantage over a lot of these teams on paper. So
Hmm.
it's going to be a true like battle of offense versus pitching, but then you look at our lineup and you're like, wait, but our pitchers are Nyjah Kennedy and KT. So like I think we
Right.
feel pretty good about them being fine. So it's just that's the card where I'm like, hey, yeah, it's been a struggle, but like if I'm expecting anybody to be good at what they do, it's pitchers that have always been they're all Americans. So they're gonna be all
Right.
right. They're gonna get in a park that's not a shoebox, and they're gonna be able to pitch like they do.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So that's that. Are we missing any big storylines from anybody else? I think we ran through them. Um, obviously Nyjah. I really hope that they give her flowers in this and stop talking about the fact that she transferred and the fact that she makes money, and talk about the fact that she's carrying a heavy weight for everybody and is growing the sport for everybody so they can stay quiet and they don't have to go public about how much money they're making because they can see what
Hmm.
all the shit that Nyjah's got. And yeah, it's brought in her a lot of flowers as well, but there's a lot of stuff that she has to deal with because of that, and it's a lot of pressure. She's doing that for them. I would love to see the national media to maybe mention that along with it. That would be lovely. Mia Williams, we've talked a lot about her growth as a hitter this year. We've gotten through the big storyline with her at Florida. She's passed her former team. Obviously, Caitlin Terry could play her former team in UCLA. Taylor Panel could play her former team in Tennessee. Logan Holloman could play her former coach at Tennessee, and Craig Snyder. And then Haley was recruited by Craig as well as Sam. So there's some of those relationships, but that's like so normal in this day and age. Yeah, I think we kind of covered all the things, but if y'all have questions, more questions, drop them in the comments. We'll be back to preview at least like the pod, the side of the bracket that we're on, so that
Hmm.
we have at least the first couple of games previewed. And maybe we'll do, if they win on Thursday, maybe we'll go ahead and do a show because it'll be off on Friday, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully we win and we can just have the win, day off, win, day off, win, day off.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am going to be there. I did get credentialed, so I'll be there working, so I much prefer that pattern
Right.
myself,
Not
please.
have to go every single day.
Yeah, I mean, it's much more fun to just go watch than to
Right.
have to work every day. Not to
And
be
I
lazy.
mean, also, as far as like storylines are concerned, I think what's going to help is like it's not going to be at someone else's, stadium. It's all at neutral site. So there shouldn't be that there'll be fans there, but it shouldn't be to the extent of like, everyone's against you there. And also, like, I just feel like these storylines aren't, I guess, there's not a lot of catalysts for them to become this big old,
Yeah,
brawl,
I'm
like
blaming it on the
anything.
fans there.
Yeah.
I'm still. That's what I said
I'm
last
gonna
episode.
blame
Their
it on the
fans
fans
were
too. Yeah.
nasty. And
I don't think we're
ESPN
gonna see
incited the
that.
fans by what they said, and then the fans ran with the narrative, and it became a thing that it shouldn't have become. Hopefully, ESPN's learned their
Ridiculous.
lesson. But yeah, it's not going to be a home crowd for anybody. Arkansas is the closest team, I think, actually, to um wherever it is, Oklahoma City. It's
Oh
like an
yeah.
hour or 2 hours, so they'll have a big fan base. But there's no bad blood between us and Arkansas. Big Kaylee
No.
Wyckoff fan over here, so
Mhm.
that would just be good vibes.
It would. It'll yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how it all plays out. Maybe we'll get to go up against Wiki in Arkansas. Maybe we won't. It's going to be kind of interesting to kind of see who we all get to play. But let's just
Yeah,
win and get ourselves the easiest route to get there. But if we need to do
yeah,
the
you want to
hardest
win the
route, we'll
first
still
game.
do it. But just
We'll
win the
talk all
first game.
about that in tomorrow's episode. Again, they're playing Mississippi State at 11 a.m. first game of the World Series. Same exact TV crew that y'all just got to listen to in Gainesville is calling that game. They will be back at it. Hopefully, they've shuffled up their story notes and they have some fresh stuff for you guys to listen to. And then if they win, they'll get Friday off and then play Saturday like we're talking about. But we'll preview the pod of teams that are on their side just in case tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Follow, like, subscribe. Again, if y'all have other questions, drop them in there. We'll try to answer what you can and get you ready for the World Series, which will hopefully be a couple of weeks of games
Yes,
ahead.
let's do it. 2
All right.
weeks.
Y'all know the drill. Reg 'em.
Wreck 'em.